Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see the topic of doubly linked list. In the last lecture we have discussed, last few lectures rather, we have discussed about the singly linked list, and at the end we understood that it is a dynamic data structure, very good, but only thing which we face, only disadvantage rather will face is we can traverse in only forward direction. We cannot come back in a linked list, in a singly linked list. So this is a structure. If I am construing, I can traverse only in the forward direction one by one, and once only I reach at the last element, I can at the max what I do is I can provide the address of first element as to the last node. This is called a circular linked list, but this is only possible, but it is not possible for me to traverse in a reverse direction. Linked list is a dynamic data structure, but if there are very few nodes, it's okay to abort and again start from the beginning, from the first node, if I want to access or forgot to access some previous nodes. But if we are having lakhs of entries in the linked list, it is not easy for us to traverse back or just abort the function at any point of time and come back to the first node and start it again. This is the disadvantage of it. So we cannot come back in the linked list, and hence this gave the birth to the new concept called as doubly linked list. You can very easily compare the two diagrams. This diagram is of the second diagram is of 2D or sorry doubly linked list, and the first diagram is a singly linked list. Here you can see there is a data field and there is a link which is pointing to the next field of every node. Now here what you can observe is this node is having a data field. Okay, that is there because all these efforts we do to record the data, to store the data. So data will always be there. Along with that, it has an address of its next element, but advantageously it has the address of its previous element. So the node is not having two fields, but it has having three fields. One is the data field, second is the link to the next node, and importantly third one is linked to the previous node. Thus, with the help of next node, I can traverse the entire list in forward direction, and with the help of previous link, I can traverse the entire list in reverse direction. Okay, this is the disadvantage. The disadvantage of singly linked list is avoided in the doubly linked list, but of course we need to have a separate definition of a structure, some logical changes in the insertion, deletion and traversing of the linked list. All these things will be there. That will be our point of discussion for next few lectures. So let us start with the discussion, formal discussion of linked list, doubly linked list. The doubly linked list or DLL is a variation in linked list in which the navigation is possible in both ways, forward as well as backward. Comparatively easier or comparatively easy than the singly linked list. In singly linked list there is no provision of moving backward, but few things we'll have to keep in mind. In this there are three fields we need to keep in mind. Is the first one is data field, second one is the next field which is pointing to the next node, and third is the previous field which is pointing to the previous node. So these are the three things we'll have to keep in mind, and your structure is going to look something like this, where we are defining the structure. Logical structure of data looks like this. A data field will be there which will store the value for which we are creating a particular node. That value can be of any type, that can be number of values also. It's not necessary that one link node structure can store only one value. It can store number of values. Okay, so right now we are considering the list with only one node, but we can have a list with multiple data nodes also. Let us say that I am storing the student roll number and their name. So roll number will be their marks. So M1, M2, M3. This will store the whole record of a student with his roll number, with his marks in 3 subjects. It can also store name, it can store class, it can store any other detail you are willing to do. So it is not necessary that it is going to have only one data in it. That's why we are making this kind of headache, because storing only one data and taking these many huge efforts of maintaining the list, maintaining the links, maintaining the start, end, all these things are not affordable. But we can have this structure also, where we are going to have a previous node here and next node here. That's why linked list is called as a dynamic data structure. We can give any dynamism to it. Coming back to the doubly linked list, it can store data. It is going to have one link which will point to the next field of the or next node of the existing one, and another one which will show the address or store the address of its previous node. Okay, so this way the node structure of doubly linked list is provided. To just define it with the help of language C, we can define it in this way. We can name it as D node. A structure D node is defined, which will have the data field as integer, one self-referential pointer as next, which will store the address of the next element in the doubly linked list. Another is next self-referential structure which will store to the previous node, and this way a head node can be created. Now, one thing I just want to tell you, that with this definition of structure and this sequence of declaration, the node will look something like this. Node will have the data value first here, then it is going to have the next field, and then it is going to have the previous field. The node will logically look like this. So first a few bytes will be stored, 4 bytes will be stored for this, next 4 will be stored for this next field, and next 4 will be stored for previous field. This will be the arrangement. If you want the arrangement this way, that's what we are looking in every example. You want data at the center, next at the right side, and left at previous at the left side. At that time you will have to change this sequence in this should be your first declaration, this should be your second declaration, and this will be your third declaration. If you are making this sequence change, it will lead to the logical representation of node in this way. Otherwise, for existing one, this is the logical representation of the node. That you please remember. So it hardly makes any difference for us, because ultimately we are going to hand it over to the memory manager. He is going to take care in what sequence what need to be stored and how it should be accessed. That is not our botheration, but this is just for your knowledge. I am telling you that the way you are defining a structure, in that sequence only the elements are going to be stored. So this way node of a doubly linked list is declared and defined, and we are always going to have a head pointer. You are always going to have a head pointer to point to the first node of any list, any linked list. Okay, remember that is a head pointer. This is a head pointer. It is not a head node. Head pointer stores the address of a head node. Okay, so this is not the head node. This is your head node. This is your head node or start node or first node or beginner node, whatever you say. But this is just another pointer variable which will store only the address of the first node. So it is a head pointer, it is not a head node. That thing you remember. These are very minor terminological differences, but if you make it clear, it will be easy for you to understand the program. This is I can say the list starts from this point. This is not the part of list, but it is just keeping the address of list, beginning address of the list. The way we store the base address of the array. Okay, so this thing you please keep in mind, and this way the data structure, the data will be stored. Of course, just to list out the advantages of doubly linked list over a singly linked list, the data DLL can traverse in both the direction, forward and reverse. The operations, deletion operation or even insertion operation, are quick and more efficient as compared to the deletion to the singly linked list, because when I try to delete a node, I need to achieve that node or its previous node and next node. We need to maintain separate pointers for previous and next, so that they can be connected once this to be deleted node is dropped down. But in DLL we are storing both the addresses. That's why it becomes very easy for me to, or efficient for me to delete a node from doubly linked list, as well as to insert a node in a doubly linked list, because we already have a track of its next and previous node. So this makes the job easy. So these are the advantages of singly linked list, but it comes with little more disadvantages. Disadvantages is it consumes more amount of memory. Of course, it holds a extra link in every node, that is previous link. It is going to consume extra space. If I compare singly linked list with array, it is again going to be the same disadvantage. Comparative to array, singly linked list consumes more space, because for every data it stores a next field. But the advantages are such that we can afford to lose data space, because actually we are using the wastage space, waste fragments to create a doubly linked list. So these overheads are okay because of the advantages of the linked list. That's why while studying the data structures, may it be array, stack, queues, linked list, or forthcoming data structures like graph, trees, or hash tables, we need to be very clear about the application of it, what way we are going to apply, on what size of data we are going to apply, and how we are going to exactly store it in the memory, how often we are going to access it. If we are keeping all these things in mind, it will be easy for us to choose one of these data structures. So that's why we are learning data structure with all their advantages and disadvantages, so that when the time comes to write an efficient program, we will be able to choose a proper data structure for that particular organization of data, right? So this way, disadvantages are it consumes extra space, but it's okay. The overhead which we are taking are affordable because its advantages are more. And another disadvantage is every time you need to manipulate the previous pointer. Unlike in the singly linked list, we are only observing or modifying only one link. Here we will have to now modify 2 links every time. So that's a headache, or that's a overhead which is increased, or that can be called as a disadvantage of doubly linked list over singly linked list. Okay, but it depends again on the situation and type of data which we are going to deal with. Just like singly linked list, we have the similar operations to be performed on that: insertion at beginning, at last, and after a particular node. Similarly, deleting the first node, last node, and a particular node which is given from a particular position. Traversing the list, but here traversing the list in forward direction as well as reverse direction. Okay, so forward and backward. There are 2 traversals possible, which was not possible in singly linked list. So with the understanding of singly linked list, insertion, deletion, and rest of the operations, we are going to use that logic to deal with the operations in doubly linked list also. So in this lecture, we are going to see how can we insert the element or a node in a doubly linked list, starting with the first case, insertion at the beginning, means making the new node as the first node of the list. One important thing which you must have observed when I am talking about a doubly linked list diagram, what can be observed is when it comes to a node which is placed in between, may it be at second or third position, if I am talking about this particular node, it had its next field, it has its previous field. But when I talk about this node, it has its previous field, but there is no existence of next field, because it doesn't have anything to be pointed further. It is the last node, so it doesn't have a next node. So for last node, the next field will be null. This is the feature of it. Next field will be null. The same feature was there in singly linked list also. Okay, here also you can see the last node is going to have the value null, next value as null. This is important. When I talk about the first node, of course, the node which points, which is pointed by the head pointer is the first node. But another important feature of first node is its previous field will be null, because it doesn't have the previous field to be accessed. So it doesn't have any previous node. That's why its previous field is null. The last node's next field is null. These are the two features which we need to know, and with these two features only we are going to play the insertion operation, or perform insertion operation on the list. So if I am taking this list, how I am going to insert first node? Just recall how we perform the insertion operation in the singly linked list. First of all, you create the node which you want to insert, right? You create a node which you want to insert. Let us say that I want to insert value 5. So you first create a node. Let us name that node as new node. I'll write it as NN, new node. Make its data field as 5. Now I need to insert this as the first node in the linked list. So what is the feature of the first node of the doubly linked list? Its address is stored in the head pointer, and second is its previous field is null. So this is previous field, this is data field, and this is next field. So new node dot previous is actually set to null, because this is the feature of first node. It doesn't have a previous node. Now what next? What modifications we need to do? We have set the previous field. We now need to set the next field. What will be its next node? Its next node will be the current first node. It is going to be added at the first position. So first element becomes second. So the next field of new node is the existing first node. From where I can get the address of existing first node? From head. So what we are going to make? New node dot next is equal to head. What is value of head? 2000. So as soon as I make new node dot next is equal to head, 2000 will be stored at this list, and this particular link is created. What next? Now this becomes the second node. It has one previous node to it. I need to make this field as the new node. So what we are going to do? Head. Right now head is pointing to still this node. Head dot previous is equal to new node. Let us say that this new node is stored at location number 1000. So this is going to become new node. What we did here? Head dot previous is equal to new node. So this link is also established. This link is also established. Now the last thing is make head node point to this new node. So head is equal to new node. So this is going to store address 1000 now. Instead of 2000, it is going to store address 1000, and head is not now pointing to the new node. New node is pointing to the previous beginning node. Are you getting me? So this way, one by one, the things are happening. Let us just find out how the things are happening again with a step-by-step algorithm. We'll go for the first thing is we'll have to check whether the list exists or not. This is the default verification you'll have to do every time you try to insert a node. That is a default one. So this we are going to check whether it exists or not. If it exists, then what we are going to do? We are going to create a new node. New node we have created. New node dot data is equal to value. Value is equal to 5 we have taken, so it will be made as 5. New node dot previous is equal to null. Is it the same thing which we have just now discussed? As it is going to act as the first node, we need to make it as null. Now we need to set the next field. So new node dot next is equal to start or head, we can say. Okay, any name you can give. So it is head. So what we are doing, start dot next is equal to new node dot next is equal to start. Start is the value 2000. It is pointing here. Okay, so this is 2000. So we need to create 2000 here. So as soon as I write 2000, this link is created. Fine. What next? Now make head dot previous. Make head dot previous is equal to new node. Where head is pointing? Here. Its previous field is right now null. Make it a new node. New node is stored at location number 1000. So you make this field as 1000. Now what happened? This link is created. Okay. Now lastly what? We need to set the head to new node. So now head will not point here but will point here. This will change from 2000 to 1000. Now what is the list? 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. Or from 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000. This will be the list. In this way we can insert at the first position. Got it? Now comes the second case when I want to insert at the last position. We will again go in a similar kind of explanation. First we will see the logic of it. Again, every time you try to insert an element, first create it. Then only insertion is possible. So create it, make its data value to 5. Make its data value to 5. Then as it is going to act as the last element, its next field will be made as null. Let us say that this is named as new node and it is stored at location number 6000. A new node is created. Now what next? We need to first locate the last element in the list. What will be the last element? The element whose next field is set to null is the last element. How we can locate it? We can start from the first node and go on jumping one by one till we find the next field as null. So you are going to have T over here. T will be equal to head. So T will be pointing to the first node. We will check whether T dot next is equal to null. No. Then jump. If T dot next is not equal to null, then we are going to make T is equal to T dot next. The same logic we have used in the singly linked list also. So go on searching the node till you get T dot next field as equal to null. At this moment when T will point, at this moment T is equal to T dot next is equal to null. So this is the last node which we are trying to locate. What we need to do is simply T dot next T dot next will become new node. Am I right? Because new node is the next last node. This link is established. This value is changed to 6000. Okay. Now we need to establish the reverse link. Now make this node point to the previous one. So make it next new node dot previous is equal to T. So this is going to, what is T? T is 5000. T is 5000 means T's address is 5000. So this link is established. Now the list is read as 10, 20, 30, 45. So after 40 we don't have the last element, we have 5. And after 5 there is no more element, hence it is made as null. So these two simple changes and we got the list inserted at the node inserted at the last one. Let us see the first verification. The pointer created, new dot data become value. So this is done. Then new dot node next is equal to null, since it is the last node. Now we start again. Now we start temp is equal to T. This is done. Okay, now we go on, repeat the step while you get temp dot next is equal to null. Go on jumping to the next node till we get the last node located. Later just establish this link, by temp dot next is equal to new node, and now extend the previous one, this one, make new node dot previous is equal to T. This way a node is added at the end of the list. Okay, so first whenever you try to understand anything, first try to understand the working of it, then writing in steps is a simpler part. Just understand the working of it, how it works, and try to analyze it step by step. The job becomes easy. Now the last case in this, inserting after a particular node. Now how can we do it? So let us say that I want to include this at position number 3. Give location is equal to 3. At location 3rd I want to insert the new node. Let us say that the data to be inserted is 5, and just previous to whatever previous case we have seen, we need to maintain a variable I which will be incremented till the point temporary variable or a pointer points to the element just next to the position at which we want to insert. So if I want to insert a node at location number 3, I will first try to point at location number 2, and after 2 I will manipulate the links, and I am going to add up the element. So manipulation is same. First create a element. Now here more number of links need to be dealt with. Is 5. So we will start with T pointing to the first element nowhere. So I is 0. As soon as T is equal to head, we are incrementing I by 1. Then every time we take a jump, we are going to increment I by 1. What will be the condition? We will have to check the condition as I less than location, 1 less than the location. So it will, at this condition, T will point to the node just previous to the location at which we want to insert a row. So in this case location is 3, so T will be pointing to 2. So T will be pointing here when I is less than location. So this I am not going to explain. If you want to know it, you just go back to the single linked list and try to understand how we are manipulating I and coming to that particular location. So make T point to the just previous node to the location at which I want to insert the element. Now I have T with me. I need to modify this field, I need to modify this field, this field, this field, as well as this field. So there are 4 fields to be modified. So when I go with that, so what it's now then this next node is going to become next node of this. Next node, this pointer is to be created. How it can be created? It can take the It can take the value from this t dot next. T dot next will become new node dot next. This is your new node. Let us say that it is at location number, say 7000. So t dot next will become new node dot next. Are you understanding? So 4000 will be here. This link will be established. Okay. Now I need to check out this list. I need to make this list also, or this value also. Fine. Now make t point to this. Establish this link. Sorry, this should be reverse. New node dot next should be equal to t dot next. New node dot next should be equal to t dot next. New node dot next is blank. Now t dot next becomes new node. To avoid confusion, I'll just erase this. It should not be t, and this should not be nn. This should be reverse. It should be t, and this should be nn. So new node dot next is equal to t dot next, and now t dot next will modify to new node. This link is established. Okay, still we need to modify this one and this one. Okay, so before this we need to modify. We'll take this step later. We need to first modify this one. How it can be? How I can get that? T dot next. What is t dot next right now? This one, because t is pointing to this one. So t dot next is equal t dot next dot previous. So t dot is this and its previous is this. That will become new node. So this link will be established. Okay. So the third link, second link also got established. Second link also got established. Now what is the next step? Next step is establish this link. Modify previous of new node. So new node dot previous will point to t. Why t? Because t is pointing to the just previous node, to the location at which I am inserting the node. So new node dot p is equal to t. So this condition is also satisfied, and this is going to get addressed toward as 3000, because address of t is 3000. Now last establishment is this node, this link. Now your t dot next becomes new node. Getting me? So one by one we can get these nodes. Okay, we'll see again with the steps. I'll erase this few things, and we'll see how these links are getting established. The rest of the things I will not erase. So the verification again, the creation of new node. Now set new node dot data is equal to value. That's okay. I can make it as 5. Okay. Next is set temp is equal to start. So we need to have a temporary variable, and what we are going to do? We are going to set I is equal to 0 and repeat till you get I is less than location. What you are going to repeat? You go on temp is equal to temp dot next one by one. Go on moving one step every time, and just reach to the position at just before the location at which we are inserting an element. Okay, that's what we did. This loop signifies that. Now once we reach that, temp is pointing here, so new node dot next, this field is equal to temp dot next. So temp dot next is 4000, this field is going to become 4000. Fine. So temp new node dot next becomes temp dot next. This condition. First link created. This link created. Next is new node dot previous is equal to temp. New node dot previous is equal to temp. New node dot temp is equal to 3000. So this is established. Set temp dot next is equal to new node. This is established. Now it should be first these two steps must be interchanged. These two steps must be interchanged, that is 13 and 14. So temp dot next is 4000 and its previous is 3000. It should be made as new node. So this condition, temp dot next dot previous. Okay, and last is, now I need to establish this link, that is step number 13. We can establish this, that is temp dot next is equal to new node, this one. So this way, one by one, we can create or establish the links, and now the list will be read as 10, 20, 5, 30, 40. In this way, the element can also be inserted at the end. This is all about inserting an element at the particular position. You may be asked to insert an element after a particular value. Okay, so that depends in which you are accessing this. So this is all about insertion of an element at different positions in doubly linked list. Okay, so this is all from my side in this lecture. Thank you very much.